I posted this quote to my threads this morning, and it said, "The next thing you learn will change you entirely. You die every night. Good morning." Here's what I mean. Every single day that you learn something new, every time you go through an experience, it fundamentally changes you. In a way, kills the previous version of you. Once you learn something, you become someone new. Right now, the way we think of death, I think, is fundamentally flawed due to the limitations of technology that we presently have. What do I mean by that? Well, think of versions of you strewn throughout time. There's a version of you from yesterday. There's a version of you from 10 years ago, right? All of these versions of you, all these variants of you exists right now because all of time is happening right now. So if I were to invent some sort of time machine that will allow me to go back in time, I can right now interact with past versions of not just myself, but people who we have lost along the way. We lost them simply because we do not yet have the technology to allow us to access people in the past. We don't yet have access to time machines. Just because we don't have the technology yet to travel back in time doesn't mean that we won't in the future. We cannot allow ourselves to think in accordance to our present limitations. So nobody actually dies, not in the traditional sense. That's why I said we need to redefine what death is. Death is essentially just being unable to access people who are behind or in a different space in space-time, lost in space-time, but only lost to us due to our present limitation, not being able to travel in time. Should I invent a time machine, I should be able to visit any variant or variation of myself throughout time. I can go all the way back to 1995 and talk to baby me. I love how there's a mirror behind me. Each variant of me is essentially a dead version of me, because every time I learn something new, every time I gain some new knowledge, a new experience, I become a new being. We die every night. We die every time we learn something new. Dying in the sense of how I'm redefining it as leaving a past variant of yourself in space-time. That's it. No one dies. If I were to pass away today and you had a time machine, you can come to today. I think today's like July, 17th or whatever. Set the time machine to July 17th and you can speak to the variant of Joe in July 2024, because all of time is now in space-time. And this isn't even bringing in the many worlds interpretation or quantum immortality. I'm not even talking about that. Right now, I'm just talking about base level, like here. We're not even talking about other realities. I'm just saying in this reality, in one reality, no one dies in our traditional understanding of death, right? Time travel only works in an eternalism model. And since that seems to be the most probable explanation for our reality, a deterministic universe, then that means past, present, and future exist right now simultaneously, which means that all you would need to access past versions of not just yourself, but of other people is a time machine. So once again, should I stop living today? Conventional understanding of death means I no longer exist, but physics supports that I still exist in every other day before today. After today, you cannot interact with Jolie in this reality. My consciousness might have shifted to another reality where I kept going and I survived whatever took me out of this one. It's a different conversation. But in this reality, yes, you will not be able to interact with Jolie anymore in this reality from this day forward. However, all the variants of Jolie up until today still exist in space-time right now. To access a version of me after today, you would then need an Einstein-Rosen bridge, a wormhole, which will then take you to a parallel universe where I survived. Fun stuff.